In the world of business and running corporations and organizations, often leaders face this dilemma of balancing between these two very important ingredients called will and resources. Resources is all about the assets that you have, the money that you have. It comes from the investors, it comes from the outside of the company. And will is about the morale, the motivation, the enthusiasm that your people carry. How your people respond to the changes in the company, the way company does their business, and it comes from the quality of leadership that people experiences while being in that firm. What becomes challenging as these economic situations keeps changing, the market situation keeps changing, the leaders have to constantly weigh between what do they give importance to, will or resources. And sometimes it is not possible to equally weigh them. One of them gets favored over another depending upon the situation. Now, what happens when we majorly prefer or give importance to resources over our people, over the will of people? What happens is we definitely get short-term gains, we are able to accumulate wealth in the short term, but over a period of time, the impact is negative. It's like snacking. It gives you flavor immediately, but over a period of time, your health gets ruined. However, when leaders weigh or give more importance to will of the people over resources, then what happens is you might have slow wealth accumulation in the coming future, in the near future, in the short term, but in the long term, the company thrives, the company flourishes. It's like doing proper workout. You may not see the result overnight, but when you start doing it consistently over a period of time, you actually see a whole new transformation of your body. Let me give you an example. After the 2008 recession, many companies were severely impacted, and one of them was the container store. This particular firm was into creating storage spaces for offices and homes, things like that. And naturally, after that recession, people started investing less in non-essentials or infrastructural things. And as a result, the sales of the company dropped by 13%. In order to make the company survive and afloat, the leadership had to take a decision. Should they lay off people or should they do something else? Because in order to match this 13% drop in sales, and for a company which had always enjoyed sustained growth, this was not less than a shock. But what the leaders decided was, instead of laying off people, they decided for salary cuts. But they were not very sure of how people are going to respond. So they announced this, that we really don't want any one of you to lose your jobs, but because the company is not faring well, we have to go for this step of cutting your salaries. And the response that the leadership got was something that they were totally amazed and they're totally surprised and overall very pleased. When you really love people, when you make people feel that they really matter, they can actually rally themselves in unimaginable ways to put their resources to pull you up. Everyone needs to feel that they really matter. And when this company did that to their people came together, the employees came together and started thinking of how they can save expenses, how they can cut down expenses, how they can save money for their companies. When they were going for business trips, they started cutting down on the kind of hotels they stayed in. When they started traveling for business purposes, they would actually take cheaper fares, cheaper modes of travels, and they started saving money to the extent that they would even talk to vendors to somehow cut cost for the company. This is unimaginable. And the company actually floated through and continued to grow even after the recession and its effects were over. When hard times strike, the companies, the organization, the leaders who give more importance to people over resources, there are likely more chances that people would come together to protect the leadership, to protect the resources, and to protect the company. And please remember, if we can't love the people who work for us, they can't love the work they do for us.